Hello and welcome to Peggy's Talk Show. I'm your host, Peggy Robinson, your realtor and your designer, and I'm so happy that you guys are with me on today. I hope y'all had a great 3-day weekend, because I did. I got a chance to enjoy my family, got a chance to let my daughter do my hair. So, hey, my hair is all done up, and I got that quality time with my daughter. I hate to ask her because she does my granddaughter's hair and all three of them. So she normally spends a lot of time in their hair, but I went to get my hair done, and they said they couldn't do it. I'm like, daughter, I need my hair done. She said, come on over, mother. So, guys, I even had that time with her and my grandkids until about 12 o'clock midnight, because it took her a while to do it. But I appreciate her doing my hair, and I appreciate you guys for being with me on today. And I am now going to go into a commercial break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about being a mother. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Hi, I am Peggy, your realtor and designer. If you are looking to buy your first home, let me take you out and find that perfect dream home just for you. I will help you also dress that home with your window treatments, blinds, shutters, and drapes. And if you are selling your home, I will be happy to do the staging and designs for you. So don't forget, I'm your girl, and I got you, your girl Peggy. So call me at 832-720-2843. I'm your girl, your realtor and designer. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Peggy's Talk Show. I'm your host, your realtor, and your designer, guys. I want to talk about motherhood. It's because it's a very important topic to me. I was just thinking today, what would I talk about today? And I'm seeing what's going on with everything that's happening out in the world right now, and I understand how important a mother role is to their kids. And I just want to really have a conversation with the women, and then turn around and say, hey, we need to have a conversation with the men as well. So as you guys know, I was a single mom. I raised 3 kids by myself, and it was not an easy job. So ladies, I know it's not easy as a single mom, because we have to wear so many hats. You know, we have to make sure everything is taken care of. And when we become single parents, that wasn't my goal, and I know it wasn't your goal, to become a single mother. But guess what? You are, or we were, okay? Because we have the responsibility to continue to raise these kids, even though we are hurting, we're going through our pains and our struggles, and it's not as easy as people portray it to be. It's one of the hardest jobs in the world, y'all, is to be a mother. And I enjoyed this so much, even though I had a lot of hard tests and trials and just trying to figure out what to do. Okay, since I had 3 kids, I had to figure out one thing, and mothers, that's what you need to do if you have more than 1 kid. Figure out what works. What type of discipline do you need to make sure this kid grow up to be a productive human being and grow up to be the adult he needs to be, and she needs to be when they grow up. So mostly I did a lot of praying, guys. I'm telling you. So if you don't have a relationship with God, first, mothers, that's the first thing you need to do, is get a good relationship with God. I'll talk to him as much as possible, because you don't have a man in the home. So you want to make sure that you not listen to outside voices. The first voices you need to be listening to is number 1, God's voice. Asking God how to raise these kids that he put in your charge and gave you the responsibility of. I used to say, God, I want to thank you for the opportunity. You trusted me enough to raise these kids. And God, I don't know what I'm doing. So you have to be real with yourself too. It's not just because you see everybody else what they doing, that don't mean that's what you need to do with your children. So as me, Peggy, being a single mom, calling myself doing everything right. I got married at 19, and by the time I was 24, I was a single mom with 3 children. That wasn't what I had plans for me, and I didn't want it. And I was, at one point, I got kind of angry with God. I was like, hey, I did everything I was told. I was told to wait till I get married to have kids, and I tried to be a good wife to my husband. The much as I knew as a young lady coming out of high school, because I got married not too long after I graduated from high school. Just what I just knew a little bit of just trying this thing out. We both was young. And it was kind of scary, but we wanted to, I got pregnant right off. When we got married, I found out I was pregnant, and we had my first son, who was Robert, and he was my favorite from the beginning. When I first had him, I was so excited. Everything he wore, I put on. I made sure we had on the same colors. Every time he went somewhere, if he had on the yellow shirt, I had on the yellow shirt. It was like that. As mothers, we just want to show that love, right? And so I was excited about being a mother, afraid, and I know most of you are also. But you know what? You have to be the mother, the disciplinary person. You have to set boundaries. You have to make sure that these kids know that you are in control and they got to follow your lead. But you can get those hugs like you see on the screen right there. But you can get those hugs, but you can also get them to know that, hey, I'm not your friend right now. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm trying to be your mother, and I'm going to love you through it. And some things I'm going to have to teach you. You're not going to feel good about it. Sometimes I'm going to have to tell you no, and you might not like it. But, hey, as the mother, that's what you have to do, parents. We have to do the hard things, especially we didn't think we were going to be by ourselves. And God made a man and woman to have kids for you to come together to have that balance. And when you don't have that balance, you got to figure out, since I don't have the balance of a man in the home, and I'm not going to say that us women, we know how to teach men how to be young boys, how to become men. But what we can teach, and what I tried to teach, I taught my boys about reading the Bible. I would say, hey, God is your father. At this point, I'm not saying that they never interacted with their dad, but in my home, I had to get them to understand that God was your father and that he's going to never leave you. He's going to be here for you. And I told them to read Proverbs. As they got older, I would make them read Proverbs. And we would, sometimes if I didn't go to church, if we didn't go to church that Sunday, I would sit down with my kids, and me and my kids would actually read the Bible together, and they would ask me questions, and I would answer it as best as I know how. And parents, that's what y'all need to do. Get that quality time. Get that time and ask them questions. See what's going on with your kids. See what they're hurting about, what their hurts are, what is going on in school. Because sometimes the kids in school can be so cruel. And you have to be able to say the right things. You don't want to keep saying, oh, you bad, you just. Don't tell it to your kids. One thing I would do was find a word that was good. With my youngest son, Ronnie, I left his dad when he was about 2 months old. And so I had to tell him as he was growing, because he was acting out, because he didn't have a father. He didn't have that father in the home. He didn't have that connection. But I would say to him, I see greatness in you, Ronnie. And even when he would act up, I'm telling you guys, I used to live in the back of the school. I might as well had a chair in the back of the seat. But he was acting out because he was hurting. Parents, you need to find out what is going on with your kids. I knew he was hurting because he didn't have a father in the home, and I can only do so much, and I didn't know everything that might have was going on in his mind, and he didn't feel comfortable with talking to me about. But I knew I had to love him through it, and so even when he would act up, I would tell him, I see greatness in you, and then I would have to discipline. Okay, parents, y'all not taking things away from your kids, and you want to know why these situations are happening, like the shooting that just happened. We'll talk about that later on, but it's because these kids are screaming out for attention. And parents, I know, and mothers especially, I know, It's so hard when you have to go to work, you got to come home, help with homework. You got to take them to the sports that they in track, they might be in football. All the things we have to keep them engaged, involved. Because I know, baby, I used to feel like I had rocks in my eyes. When they get out of school, I had to rush them home and give them something to eat. Then rush them to track practice, rush them to football practice, rush them to cheerleader. I had to do it. My daughter and my son was modeling. I had to take them to what they had to do for their modeling. I had to do a whole lot. And yes, it's like I gave up a lot of things of myself. And then I was trying to date, okay? And it really was hard trying to date. And you have to be able to try to fit that in and being able to say, hey, guys, hey, I don't have no time for you. And you have to be able to say that. You have to be able to have if you're going to be dating, be able to express yourself and communicate with the person you're trying to date or your partner that, hey, or the husband, if you get married after you have kids, you have to be able to let them know, hey, I got to make sure these kids are okay. And that's one of my first priorities. And it's not like I can't love you and them the same. I don't love y'all the same. I love y'all all, but it's a different kind of love that I have to have for you and my kids. And I am single now, guys, not because I chose to be, but I was married more than 3 times. Okay, so y'all can say Peggy was married. Well, yes, I was married more than 3 times. And one thing I'm finding out that you women are not doing, because I never allowed a man to be before my kids. And I want you parents to understand that. God, when you got married, you can't just let them do whatever they want, but you have to let these men know that, hey, I had kids before I married you, okay? And you have to be able to take away things from them, discipline them, not be their friends. Let the men know that, hey, this right here, I'm not going to choose between you and my kids. I'm not going to have that pull. I'm not going to come home and I have to be a mother, then I have to be talking and going through the different things I would have to go through just for us to communicate and be able to deal with this situation. I have 3 kids. When we got married, I had 3 kids. And when you decided to marry me, or you women, if you already had kids and you decided to get married, he needs to understand you have your kids. And your kids are more important to keep them grounded, keep them growing, help them get to where they're supposed to be, and make them feel comfortable in the house. Don't make them feel like your stepfather or their stepfather is more important to them. Listen to them. I'm not saying I didn't do everything right, because I did not do everything right. But one thing I did not do, and that's why I'm single today, I did not allow any person to make me feel like he was more important than my kids. And I want you parents to think about that. Think about what's going on with this world right now. I understand single women. I mean, my daughter, she's raising my 3 granddaughters by herself. And you know what? She's doing a fantastic job. But one thing I do know, my daughter ain't letting nobody come before them girls. Okay? Nobody. I mean that. She loves on those girls. She disciplines them. She give them what they supposed to have. I'm not saying you don't supposed to spoil them, but you also supposed to let them know who's in charge of this house and how you're going to respect this house and what I'm not going to allow you to do. And like the script, the clip that he just showed about the young lady was playing her little video games and the mother had to come take it from her. I don't think you parents are doing enough of that. You need to set some boundaries. When my kids was growing up, guess what? They couldn't watch TV until Friday. Okay, my kids was okay with that. They knew, we can't watch TV until Friday. But you parents, y'all don't have no kind of boundaries. Y'all don't say, no, until you get your schoolwork done, and then when you get your schoolwork done, then you need to get ready for bed, you need to get ready to prepare for the next day, or whatever. We're not doing that. And the Bible said that the older women are supposed to teach the younger women. So what are we going to be teaching our women these days, our younger women? If you are allowing them to see that you would be willing to put a man before them, or you men, you are doing this because it is happening. Y'all would divorce the woman and go get into another relationship, and y'all would put that relationship above your children. And to me, I would think it was so cruel, because you will be raising somebody else's kid and not want to raise your own kid because you have a problem with the mother, or you divorced that mother, or you divorce me. If you divorce me, that don't have nothing to do with your kids. You're still supposed to be, those are still your kids. You can be divorced me, but then that's what happened all around. These men are divorcing the wives and then divorcing the kids too, and that's not, you want to know why these kids are having such a hard time and why they're going through so much. It's really our faults as parents. We are not being doing what God would want us to do when it comes down to our kids. And that's why I'm saying you need to talk to God and ask God what you're supposed to do. What are you supposed to do with these kids, and how you're supposed to raise them, and what is the right way to discipline? I know that we have where the government and the church and the people have stepped in and say you can't spank your kids or you can't do certain things. But first of all, what did God say about that? You know what? We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about that from this commercial break. And thank you guys for listening. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hi, I am Peggy, your realtor and designer. If you are looking to buy your first home, let me take you out and find that perfect dream home just for you. I will help you also dress that home with your window treatments, blinds, shutters, and drapes. And if you are selling your home, I will be happy to do the staging and designs for you. So don't forget, I'm your girl, and I got you, your girl Peggy. So call me at 832-720-2843. I'm your girl, your realtor and designer. If you're looking for something beautiful and unique in every way, Rob Mack is your jeweler. Since 2004, Rob Mack has been serving the Houston and surrounding areas with custom diamond wedding rings, pendants, and etc. If you're looking for something beautiful and unique, remember, Rob Mack is the jeweler for you.
I'm here to take you to a new frontier, the final frontier. In fact, you and I are going where no one has gone before. I'm Glenn Henderson, entrepreneur, success coach, and musician, and I want to personally invite you to take this journey with me in the pages of my best-selling new book, All I Need to Know About Success I Learned from Star Trek. We'll travel aboard the USS Enterprise, along with Captain James T. Kirk, Spock, and the finest crew in Starfleet. And we'll learn together about success principles like how to work with a team and accomplish your goals, when to fight for what you believe, and when not to, and what your business really is, no matter what you do for a living. Beam aboard with me. My mission is your success. And I'll see you on the bridge. Live long and prosper.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to Peggy's Talk Show. Again, I'm your host, Peggy, your realtor and your designer. Y'all, I know y'all don't understand how hard it is for me to look into a camera and talk to you guys and try to be as open and honest with you guys, because it's not easy. And this is a topic that I was really wondering if I should talk about it, but I really feel like God gave me this platform to be on television, just to be able to share certain things. And I think this is a good topic to talk about right now. Right now, we need to know that as parents, we got to set rules. We have to set rules. We got to make sure these kids understand that it's going to be rules all over their life, even as they grow up, even when they out through school, and then when they graduate from school, they're going to have to go to college. They're going to have rules in the college. When they if they don't go to college, you got rules on the job. When you finish college, you're going to have rules on the on college. The government has rules. The police give us rules. We have rules that we have to be able to abide by. And if we don't teach our kids how to learn about how to follow rules in the house, at home first. The Bible says you're supposed to start at home, then spread abroad. So you need to start at home, teaching those kids how to follow rules. This is what you're going to do at home. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. When you get up in the morning, you need to make up your bed, or you need to have your breakfast, and you need to tell them all the things they need to do, and give them something to do, because you know what? We're not doing that. All we're doing right now is what I'm seeing. Not happening with my grandchildren. Thank God it's not happening with my grandkids, because my grandkids, especially my daughter-in-law and my son, they are so strict on them boys. My grandsons, they have to. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, my grandsons are in magnet and in intermediate classes. I'm talking about they are very smart, but guess what? They still have to make straight A's. They make straight A's. They play football when they get out of school. They have to keep their grades up. They have to clean up their rooms. They have to wash their own clothes. I mean, she said, my daughter-in-law don't play. She's my favorite. I always tell y'all she's my favorite daughter-in-law. She makes sure these boys going to be able to take care of themselves when they go off to college. If they get married, they'll be able to help the woman that they married to, because they have rules. I used to think when they was raising up, they was really tough on them. I used to think, God, they're so tough on them. But you know what? Now they're 11 and they are 14 and they are manable. They thankful. Anything I do, they say, thank you, Granny. They know God. They have the sweetest spirit. I could pray with them, and then they like to pray for me and pray with me. You know, and that's what we got to do. The Bible says we're supposed to teach these kids about Christ. We're supposed to teach them about how to pray. We need to teach them how to treat others. We need to teach them how to be leaders, not followers. Teach them that don't get with a group of kids that's doing wrong, because now the law is a law of being in the company of the wrong kid. If you ain't even doing nothing wrong, you still can go to jail. So when you're teaching these kids, you have to tell them, hey, I used to tell my kids, you can't play with that kid. When they didn't like it. I said, you can't play with him. Because I was watching what was going on. And it's not the kid's fault. It's really the parents' fault, because the parents are allowing too much. You know, so I wanted my kids to do better. And so I was very strict with them when it came down to who they can play with. I loved on them, and I did spoil them, but I also taught them responsibility. My kids started having to start working when they was very young. They worked with me because I had my own little business. It was just a cleaning company, but I taught them how to get up in there and come in there with me, and I taught them how to clean windows, taught them how to clean up. No, they didn't like it, but hey, I paid them. I made it wasn't a lot, but I wanted to teach them how to be able to work, give them good work ethics, and right now, that's what my kids have. My kids have great work ethics. They understand if they want something in life, they have to work for it. Ronnie and Robin started modeling, and back then they was making like $30 an hour. But guess what? When we got ready to go shopping for them, they wanted to go to Target. I said, we're spending your money when we go to Target. And then, you know what? It made them think about how they wanted to spend that money. Robin would say, oh, I want this Barbie doll car. And she'd be wanting to get that. And then she get there, she said, oh, well, this off-brand, because it was her money. She said, Mom, this off-brand car, I can get 2 of these for that price. So you had to teach them that. And when my kids was growing, they weren't teaching kids how to write checks back in the day. My kids grow up, I was teaching them how to write checks. Parents, just things you have to teach your kids. You have to get your kids ready. People would tell me, oh, you're doing too much for your kids. Don't tell me what to do about my kids, because this is my future. And I would tell people that I'm putting all I can into my kids. I want my kids to grow up. Not when they get 18, you just throw them out there, because that's what your parents say. You get 18, you got to go. Well, the kids, how they going to go if you ain't taught them nothing? Where are they going to go? How they going to get a job if you don't teach them how to do an application? If you ain't taught them how to look a person dead in their eye when they asking you questions on, what are you going to bring to this company? Why should I hire you? And they don't know how to do an interview. Because parents, that's what we have to teach. I know you might think this is something like Peggy, really. People don't have to do all that. Yes, you do. As a parent, we're supposed to prepare our kids for the world, for the real world. This world can be very cruel. You already know how cruel it is in school. If you don't tell your kids every day how much you love them, and if you don't tell them that they have greatness in them, and you don't help them find their purpose, or if they say they want to do something, and you don't try to help guide them through that. If they say, I want to be a beautician, well, you want to help them learn and get them the books, or let them start practicing on your head or whatever to get them ready to go where they want to go. If they say they want to be an actress, my granddaughter, she said, Granny, I want to be a model because, Granny, I don't like school. I said, you're 7. You need to like school. And this is me talking to my grandbaby now. You have to like school because how are you going to read the contract? How are you going to know this person has taken advantage of you? And that's a conversation that I had with a 7-year-old. And guess what? After she told me that, not even 3 weeks later, she got her first movie that had to go do. Well, she did the movie, and it's going to be coming out soon. But that's something she was just speaking out, and her granny was steady, just trying to encourage her and telling, you know what, you're going to be a beautiful model, and you're going to do this and that. But you know what, Granny needs you to go to school and learn so you can be able to read your contracts. And y'all need to talk to y'all kids like that. Start talking to these little kids while they're young and let them know that, hey, I see greatness in you. I know God has a future and a plan for you. Y'all need to know y'all Bible. Y'all need to, I just feel like these people are not doing it. Do you see what's going on in this world? Do you see about the little girl that was killed in Humble? I live in Humble. And it hurt my heart to find out that little 16-year-old was raped and killed. It hurts my heart that what we just heard about the killing with the young man that just killed all these little babies. Because that's starting at home, people. These kids are hurting. Do y'all understand? These kids are hurting. They know that you got to go to work. I got to go to work. I got to go to work. Okay, I understand. Like I said, I was a single mother. I had my own business. I started my own business in 1988. I had to go to work. And I could have made more money, but I cut it off at a certain time. I could have made a whole lot of more money, but I want to be home to get my kids from school. I want to make sure that they went to their football practice, they everything that they had to do. So I had to sacrifice. I couldn't just be greedy. And that's what's going on. Y'all chasing money. Just to give the kids everything they want. Give them everything they want. They don't even earn anything. They don't even have to go and say, hey, if I would buy you that cell phone, or I would buy you that iPad if you do X, Y, and Z. No, you just give them everything they want. They don't have to deserve anything. We wasn't raised like that. What have y'all forgotten? I understand y'all probably feel like my mom was so mean and my dad was so hard and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. But you grew up and look at you now. You got good jobs, you got nice homes, you grew up to go to work, and then you don't think you're supposed to be strong and hard on your children? You want to be their friend? No, sir. No, ma'am. You are not their friend. You are their parent. And parents are supposed to be growing up. And I see some of you women and men are not growing. You women, you still want to just hang out and just act like you're 16 years old. You're not 16 no more. You got kids. You need to, and if you want your kids to respect you, you need to handle yourself like an adult so you can get that respect, because you are the reason why these kids are doing anything they want, because they don't respect you no more. Because you are embarrassing them. You come to the school with dresses so tight, you have everything just out and you're embarrassing your kids, and you should be embarrassed of yourself. You need to understand that when you start having kids, you had to change and be a different kind of woman, a woman with class, a woman with standards. And it's just okay if a man can't appreciate you and you ain't showing everything, then he don't deserve you. So you women have to be able to step up and understand that, hey, I got to carry myself like a woman. I got to love on myself. It's okay. Don't just be staying with relationships, because y'all choosing between y'all kids and a man. And I just heard that from a young man that he sees that's happening, and that is what's happening. Y'all are allowing the man to dictate everything in your home. Y'all allowing them to leave guns in your home. They showed about guns and not telling you, putting them and hiding them, or teaching your kids not to touch it. And then the kids will take guns and go to school and shoot up people because y'all not teaching them. Y'all not Y'all just trying to just be little kids. You want to see everything you see, you want. Do you see what's going on in this world? Right now, you still want to follow the Joneses. That's what they said in the back in the day. And you not understand that most of these people on social media are just lying. They don't own that Lamborghini. They might have just went to rent that Lamborghini for one day and then took some pictures and sung a song and make y'all think they done paid $200,000 for a car. And if they did, that was so foolish. That was foolish for them to pay that, and they just started doing music or whatever, and they don't even own a home, but you got a $200,000 car, really. So y'all need to think about what y'all see. Don't just take everything in, and it's okay. I'm not saying when you go to church, because I love church. I go to church all the time, and so when it was pandemic was up, I wasn't going to church. I have enough word inside me, but because I was raised in church. But still, when you go to church, don't take everything you hear. I mean, you can read, but it's written in the Bible. You can take some of that, but then you need to pay attention and take out what really works for you. Some of the stuff that people just throw inside there and they put the way they want, you go back and you talk to God and you ask God, is that right? Don't just be saying, oh, the Bible told me I can just stay with this man that's abusing me and my children. But because the Bible say you're supposed to stay married. That's the foolishness these women are saying. And they'll say it to me. The Bible ain't tell you to stay with no man that's mistreating you. And then to see that it's okay for people to watch this, that little clip that I've never seen it before, but to see the little kid writing kids with guns, they shouldn't. Y'all shouldn't be having these guns and just going out here thinking it's okay. It hurts so bad to be able to think about what these mothers and these fathers had to go through after these little kids was killed. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about that, because I really feel like it's because we are not giving the tough love we need to give to our kids. You don't just, if you love them, the Bible says if you love them, you'll chastise them. If you're not chastising your kids, you don't love your kids. You don't. But we'll talk about that more when I come back from this commercial break. See you soon. I am Peggy, your realtor and designer. If you are looking to buy your first home, let me take you out and find that perfect dream home just for you. I will help you also dress that home with your window treatments, blinds, shutters, and drapes. And if you are selling your home, I will be happy to do the staging and designs for you. So don't forget, I'm your girl, and I got you, your girl Peggy. So call me at 832-720-2843. I'm your girl, your realtor and designer. Guys, I'm back to talk about this shooting that happened, and I was asked, what do I think about it? So it's really a good reason why, we don't know why I'm here today alone. My guest that should have came on didn't show, but guess what? I have a show I have to do. I mean, I can't just stop everything I'm doing because, hey, guess what? I have a platform, and it's going to go on every week if I have somebody on here or not. That means God want me to talk to you guys by myself. So this is really hard for me to talk about it, and it's hard to just look into a camera and express myself. So sometimes, guys, I get all over the place because I have these ideas, and I am a little ADD, and I'm a little dyslexic too, and I'm okay with that. I mean, y'all might not think it's okay, but I think it's okay. At 61 years old, I learned how to embrace who I am, and I accept who I am. But that incident, when that happened, it was, I know everybody was hurt. First of all, my opinion on it is that the young man just didn't know how much value he had in himself. He didn't know that God had a plan for him and a great future. And I really believe, guys, it really starts at home. I'm trying to say, guys, it starts at home. You see what just happened? Don't let this happen again. This cannot happen again. So parents, I need y'all to sit down and talk to your kids. Ask them what is going on. find out why they are hurting and what you can do if they say they're hurting. I know people are talking about now, it's a lot about, I'm trying to do this mental health stuff. People are talking about mental health a lot. I feel like, I'm not saying this, people don't have no mental problems or whatever, but I also feel like mostly it is that people don't know who they are. And I think it's because people are not speaking into them. Their parents are not speaking into them. They're not getting the word of God into them. They're not learning how to have a relationship with God and being able to learn how to love themselves. It's okay to be by yourself. And I think that's the problem. People don't want to be by themselves. They will go from partner to partner to partner because you don't want to find out who you are. If you find out who you are and you start not liking things about you, then you'll start trying to change a little bit. And I think that's what we all need. I thank God I have been married a few times, and I wanted to be married because I was told by my mom that, and people were always telling me you need to be married, and the Bible said it wasn't good to be alone. So I knew that, but I also didn't know what to look for. And it's because I didn't have a father in the home. I'm not saying I didn't have a father. And that's what's the problem. A lot of the young ladies, we need, and they need their fathers. They don't have their fathers in the home, so they don't know what to look for. And the fathers, if you was in the home, the girls wouldn't be going out showing their bodies the way they are showing their bodies, and the mothers wouldn't be still out there doing what they're doing because they mustn't have a father in the home to let them know that they are princesses and that they are queens and that they need to love themselves, and it's okay for you to say no, and it's okay for you to stand up and say I'm all that in a bag of chips and some chocolate cake on the side. That's what, that's the attitude I had. That's why my marriages didn't work. It wasn't because I wasn't a good woman, because I had men to tell me, well, what's wrong with you? I say, nothing's wrong with Peggy. Peggy just love herself. I love myself enough to say goodbye. And I would like for some of you women to stand up and say, I love myself. I love myself to say, if I got to be by myself, I'm going to be treated the way I want to be treated and deserved. I'll go buy my own house. I'll buy my own car. I'll wake up in the morning like I do and say, thank you, God. You've been so good to me. Thank you for being my husband. Thank you for being my everything. Because he will give you the peace that you need that's passing all understanding. And I think women need to understand that. It's okay to be by yourself, women. It might not be forever, but sometimes it's okay. Raise those kids. I'm thankful to my daughter that she is the beauty, and you have seen her. She is beautiful. But no man gonna come to her with no foolishness. None. She loves herself. She loves those girls. And she's okay with saying, if I have to be by myself until my kids, my girls get out of the house, I would do that. But she's not gonna be foolish enough to leave her girls in a house with a boyfriend or a stepfather. And she got daughters? Really? Women, think about it. Think about what's going on. Look at these young ladies now. When I was growing up, I'm 61, be 62. But I used to, when I was in high school, really, I was only 92 pounds, and I was little bitty. Do you see how these young ladies now are developed? The stuff in the food, I guess, because they are more developed, and some of these men can't, some of them are confused. They think they're older. They might be 14 and they thinking they 21, but they really 14, or they thinking they just look a lot older now. So parents, you need to explain to your daughters why they can't wear the shortest shorts and why they can't have this on and why, and no, and tell them no, not as long as you live in my house. So it's certain things we have to do. I don't care if they get mad. Okay, I had a bad incident with my youngest son. My youngest son, he got mad at me because I took his car. I bought the car, and I went to his school, and he was in the 12th grade, and I went to his school, and guess what? He was not there. So guess what? I took it. And he was so angry that he left my house. He ran away from me. He didn't leave. He went on to stay with some of the other family members and decided he gonna try to be a thug looking like a choir boy. He didn't even fit in. But guess what? I stood my grounds, and that's what you parents are not doing. Stand in your grounds. Tough love. Love them, but be tough about loving them. So I did not give him back his car. My son didn't come back for, I think, 5 or 6 months. I didn't see my baby. I cried a lot. I prayed a lot. I prayed and asked God to cover him, Lord. Please cover my child. That's my son, Lord. You said that you would cover my seed, that my seed was going to be blessed. And that's how I would talk. You women are not doing that. You men are not doing that. You need to do that. And guess what? When my son came back, one day I just asked God, I said, Lord, I would really like to see my son. I'm missing him. I would like to see him. And so my nephew, I think I called my nephew or he called me and I said, hey, I would like to see Ronnie. Can you ask him, can I take him out to lunch? And so I took my son out to lunch, and then when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I didn't like my baby's face. I didn't like the way he was looking. And I fed him, and then I said, hey, would you like for me to take you to Target? Let him go to Target and pick up all the personal things, everything he needs. And then I sent him back out there to do what he was thinking he was big enough to do. Sometimes you need to let him figure out if he's big enough to do it, and let him do it. And guess what? He came to his senses. And he called me and he said, Mom, do you really see greatness in me? Because for years I kept telling him, I see greatness in you, son. I see greatness in you, son. Parents say that. Find something good to say to your kid. Even when he's messing up, I see it. I see it. And he said, well, Mom, do you really see greatness in you? I said, yes, son. As soon as you see it, because everybody see it. You don't see it. My son he had dropped out of high school. He had dropped out of high school. He enrolled himself back into high school. I didn't enroll him back in high school. When he called me, he enrolled himself back in high school. He came back home, and I still did not give him his car. I know y'all probably say, ooh, that's so rude. I said, no, I didn't. Because guess what? I wanted to make sure I wasn't being manipulated. That's why these men are being so narcissistic and manipulated, because you mamas allowed that when they were little kids, too. To just give them whatever they want. They say they're sorry, then they go do it again and again and again. When you're sorry, you don't do it again. When you're sorry, you change from, you turn from, you do it right. When you're godly sorry, you don't just keep doing the same thing. So no, I did not give my son his car back. He went back to school. Me and my daughter would take him to school, and one would pick him up. And so he didn't need but a few hours, so he got into this program, a co-op program at high school, where he had to find a job. Well, he found a job at UPS, and when he got that job at UPS, then he got his car back. And he stayed there for 4 years because I loved him. That's what you do when you love your kids. You love them enough to tell them what's right and what's wrong. And when they're doing wrong, even when they become adult, you need to tell them that they're wrong. That was wrong with, I think it was King David in the Bible. That he knew his sons had already raped the sister and did stuff, and he knew they was messing around doing all kind of stuff, and he never told them to stop it. He never told them it was wrong. And you parents see your kids doing stuff that's wrong. You see them playing with guns. You see them fighting. You see them smoking dope. You see them selling drugs. You see them doing all this stuff, and you don't say nothing. And you want to know why he ended up in jail. You want to know why a young man can go into a school and kill 19 people. It's because you're not being parents. You're allowing them to do whatever they want. And this cannot happen again. I just pray and pray and pray that the government do step in and get get these kids to have, I guess, I hate for the police to be at the school, but that's what it takes to keep the criminals out. I need y'all to do that. Do whatever you need to do to keep these kids safe. Parents, do what your part is. Women, let these zeros go. Did you hear what I said? And I mean it. Let them go. You can do bad and good by yourself. That's what my mom taught me. You can do bad and you can do good by yourself. What I know from the Bible, it says, he said he made a helpmate for Adam. He said, Adam needed a helpmate. He didn't say you women needed nobody. You got God. He's going to take care of you. No, he did say he don't want you to be alone, but guess what? He also said be equally yoked. So I realized in my marriages I wasn't equally yoked, so I didn't stay in it. But some of you women know you're not equally yoked. You know the man is messing around. You know that he's stealing your money. You know that he's telling you stuff and you going along with it. I just went up and y'all are going along with some foolishness. You know the man is being foolish and you will follow that. Just because the Bible did say the man is the head of the house. But who did he tell the man who's the head of him? See, that's what I don't like about you so-called Christians. Y'all pick out what y'all want to pick out the Bible. The Bible said the man is God is the head of the man. And then the man is the head of the wife. But if the man ain't listening to God, why should the wife listen to him? Y'all need to understand that. That's why I'm by myself. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I know I am the hardest person for y'all to deal with, and understand that I just love you guys. And this is how I raise my kids. I'm going to be true to you guys. I'm being real. Sometimes being real is kind of hard to let y'all know, hey, get away from this foolishness. Go ahead and women, buy your own homes, get your own stuff. Love on those kids. Men, if you don't have the right woman in your life, stop worrying about getting a woman in your life. If you got some children, love on those kids first. Love on those kids, raise those kids, and then God will send you the right partner. And if God don't send you the right partner, don't settle. Don't settle. Just say, hey, I'm good by myself. And I am done for the day. I kept y'all engaged. I hope I kept y'all interested. And I hope y'all will see me again next week. Thank you, guys.
This has been a NowMedia television feature presentation. All rights reserved.